Good morning, everybody around the world, and welcome to the Monster India DreamHack Studios live for the DreamHack PUBG Showdown. My name is Richard Sims. This is Martin. Good? Yes, we're there. We're good.
That took only 3 weeks.
Yes, 3 weeks. We finally get it right. Speaking of 3 weeks, we have been here for 3 weeks' time, and now we are down to finding our last 4 teams to send to DreamHack Austin. Yes, indeed. Everything on the line this weekend as we see 2 best of 10s. We've got a long set of days going ahead of us. We hope that you're all going to be joining us for this many, many long hours. It's going to be fun. We got Europe this morning and this afternoon, and then we have North America through the afternoon to the evening. 2 teams from each, Martin. It's pretty much crunch time.
It is. And now, of course, we have 3 top teams going out, and now it's going to come some new competition in. I'm really excited to see if the new favorites, they can really step up their game and take those spots that they want.
Well, we'll speak bigger picture on the teams when we actually go to the the specific regions, North America and Europe today. This morning's all about Europe. So let's take a look at the standings and remind ourselves exactly how we left things when the 3 teams, which were FaZe, Liquid and Kinguin, all qualified. Now, Martin, we kind of said coming into this, they look strong, they look good, and it was fair to say that the better teams on the day, they did indeed win.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, we also see it here. We see 7 of the 10 chicken dinners to the top 3 teams, of course. So they deserve it 100%. And also coming through with the amazing consistency on the placement here. We see Kinguin with 2,000 placement points, and the next one is 1,600 on DC. So the consistency really shows here.
Yeah, there's going to be it's going to be tight. There's going to be, obviously, as we mentioned, 3 teams that are above the green bar. They do go out. They're now gone. They've got the tickets. They're happy. They're laughing. Well done, FaZe, Liquid, and Kinguin. Once again, you guys played your hearts and souls out. You nailed it. We'll see you at DreamHack Austin. But now we inject another 3 teams who had the most points from the open side. And I believe that's going to be Alabama North, original team of Domination, and Vegas Squadron. Now, it's only Vegas Squadron that kind of rings any bells when we talk about teams that have actually seen in action. I believe they went to one of the LAN events, if I'm not mistaken. That's the one. I'm trying to think of it, so I'm glad you're here. It's early. It's very early. We got could be a couple of mistakes.
And also because you're from the UK, so it's even earlier for you. It's like
it's only 1 hour.
Yeah, but still, it's like 10.
Worse when it's in America and you've got like an 8-hour difference. Like mind boggled. Anyway, let's take a look at now the updated list. Now we have taken out the teams that have actually won, and we've injected our new ones. So the green line, it steps up a gear. It moves to 2. There are only 2 places left across these best of 10s that you will see for both regions. We'll do a best of 5 this morning for Europe, a best of 5 tonight for North America. Then tomorrow we do the second best of 5. So they're not 2 best of 5, sorry, the best of 10s all in all, but you get what I'm saying. 2 5-game series. Move on tomorrow, 2 teams from each region. This is pretty stacked, Martin. Obviously, we kind of see in Europe, and it's fair to say, we know there's a couple of teams that are a little bit above everyone else at the moment in terms of quality of skill and the level of aggression and what they can put out. We know those teams, Liquid, FaZe, for example, they're just a little bit ahead. Yep. Now we move down and we look at some of these teams. It just got a little bit tighter. This is going to be tooth and nail for these last 2 spots.
It is. And I mean, it's not because we don't have a stack. Like, we have Rogue, we have a Vanguard, we have Na'Vi, Vitality. Literally teams that's been to big LAN events, performing there and also performing in past qualifiers. So I'm really excited to see what these guys can pull out.
So Rogue were very, very close. They started scraping. They had a few rough games when we look back. Vanguard, there's a couple of changes obviously go there. We saw the recent loss of one of the members moving over to Na'Vi. Na'Vi, again, they were playing pretty lights out themselves. Fell just a little bit short. Vitality, I must say, it was one of the teams that we didn't see, in my opinion, the Vitality that we know and love and have seen from past events. Would it be fair to say?
No, they have a couple of rough months, I'd say. They're still a top team, I'd say. It's still a top 5 team in Europe, but they're having some rough periods. Last night they did good in some of the tournaments there, so I know they're hungry, and they want to go to these events, and I know that they're not happy not being at these events. So obviously they want to go.
They've tasted victory, haven't they? They've tasted a LAN event. They know what it tastes like. They know what it smells like, and they want to get there again. And as you say, a couple of rough months, but hey, it could be all good in there. Pittsburgh Knights. Who was it that had a banging event last when we saw Europe playing? The one individual standout performance from these guys, wasn't there? Drayden, that was the one. He was playing immense when we saw these guys.
He's a fantastic player, 100%. 100%. Of course, also them recently losing Survivor So they have a slight change there. So they're gonna play with a sub today, but still they're gonna have a slight change, and I'm really excited to see if these guys can keep up the momentum.
When you've seen initial team changes happen across some of the PUBG teams, because obviously you see this firsthand, how long does it generally kind of take before they start to feel themselves? Couple of weeks, couple of days?
It really depends on what kind of a person that comes in, because obviously you have the chemistry part, but then you also have like the level of understanding that you're like kind of on the same page, and that takes a long time unless you have the complete same play style. Also depending on what type of player comes in. Survivor also being a strong leader and also calling out a lot of stuff. So taking out one of these guys is going to be more rough on you than just taking out a fragger, because if you just need a fragger, then it's not going to be much of a difference. But still, you still have Voxic, you have Drayden, and you have Kramer on Knight, so they could pretty much pick up any fragger, and they could keep on doing what they do, I feel like.
Red Zone, Project 8, Noxious, Digital Chaos, a name that will certainly ring volumes. Fausto at the helm on that one. Obviously, we saw them in play getting 2 wins. IEM Oakland, Imperial, Harvu, Crimson, Plumbers, looking for some flush in those turds this weekend. And then we have our 3 teams that are injected into this 16-man strong squadron. Alabama, original team of Domination, and then Vega Squadron. Now, I've been told the server has gone live about 20 seconds ago, so we should be getting this game number 1 up and early ASAP. Now, really quickly, if everyone grab the phones, grab the computers, we've got a long day ahead of us, 10 games all in all, with a little bit of a break in between both regions in action, Europe and North America. Please, please, please tweet the stream. Use the correct hashtag for DreamHack, and of course, just share it. Just let everyone know what's going on. It's going to be a really good weekend. It's going to be a lot of fun. I think there could be some upsets. Be nice to see if some of these new teams that get injected into the bracket. I keep saying bracket. It's not a bracket. It's more of a server. If they can kind of mess anybody up, or a bit of wild play that no one's really expecting.
I mean, you also saw it extremely much for Europe. You saw this. You have 16 teams that just know where to drop. You have nobody contesting anybody. Now you can have 3 new teams, and they kind of know where they're looting. They probably will research what these teams are doing and find out these open places. But I'm really excited to see if we're going to have any contesting in the beginning of the spots. We have 10 games, so you could contest like the first 2 games just to make sure you have a superior spot.
If they thought about it, though, we've got about 10 seconds till the plane is live. But if they've thought about it, and we can kind of talk on this a little bit more, Hospital is now going to be open, and all that kind of area down in South George. Yeah. We're going to have Milta Power is completely open for business once again. Fears that they're gone. Vitality will be a little bit, not that you ever see them contesting earlier on, but it's like, okay, the number 1 team's no longer. They can we overextend a little bit towards that way, or can we run that way if the circle's kind of in our favour? And then we look towards Yasnaya as well. That's going to be completely open. The vehicles around there, we usually see Liquid dropping down. They like to grab 2 from Yaz. They're gone as well. So now we've got 3 very strong, really good areas that these teams could fill. They're open slots. We'll see what they can do. Plane comes in from the west. She's going all the way across, and she's going to be landing at Milta Power. Now, FaZe won't be there. Will anybody fill that void that they have left behind? Usual suspects, Nabi. They're going to be dropping down Primorsk. Kavorka, the rest of the boys, they're moving up north. They'll be looking through George, looking through the rest of them. Expect DC more than likely to go Pachinki. That's been their home ground, but will they get contested?
It looks like there's 1 team going with them, so they could be contested. Really excited to see that. And also, you can see the teams here. They know that South George is open. So you have Kavorka and the boys here. They are contesting this. I can't see who else it is, but we're definitely going to have some contests in South George. Also, we see Avanga. They're kind of going on the further edge to get some of the cars and go North George. Obviously, they love that. Crimson, it looks like Crimson is going to go for the Yasnaya drop, get the cars, and then go there. And then we're going to have the Knights actually taking, it looks like Knights are going to take that. Insolenza is going to finish off Kavorka here with the Neum for a bit of kick on those. So Enzo and the boys from Havu, instead of going Primorsk where they usually go, they're going to go South George. A good call from him.
Losing 1 player so early on feels bad. Man, now, obviously, last time we watched Europe in action, we actually were on 1.11. Now we're on 1.12. So we're going to see a different side, potentially a different set of games from these guys as we do move into this one. As you mentioned there, everyone a little bit kind of crimped and cramped, various different places. The entirety of the north is completely open, and wham bam, thank you ma'am, there is the circle, dead center up in the north, just scraping the edge of Severny. About 5 to 10% water in, so that's happy days for the boys that like to play this land game. Fausto and the rest of the boys from DC, they do have a team inside Pachinki, so they have been contested earlier. The bigger question is, well, it's going to be Team 15, so it is going to be one of those new teams. I potentially think Alabama North, if memory serves me correctly. So they do have one of these new teams that are going to be stamping on the territory. Now for DC, this is a prime time. You can look at this from two angles, right, Martin? You can look at it. A, do we just do his usual thing, play our normal game, and just continue? Don't go for the early fight. Don't go for the the early engagement, potentially lose somebody, like we just seen Kavoka unfortunately go down. Or do we go on them? Do we attack them? Do we kill them and say, boys, Pachinki's ours. Get gone. Go find your own place. There's plenty of places available. It'll be interesting to see how this one kind of comes down. Keep back on it now. You see once again real. So this team number 4, certainly been aggressively pushed. That's a bale and a half. He's going to chase it again. Ring around the roses.
He hit him a lot as well. Keen is down to 20% HP. And D's, Mominho and D's, they're going to be waiting for Reels. Reels, no, the bait was Real. Reels is going to be taken out. And that is Noxious down to 2 members already. So T-Bone and Rix, they're going to be out.
That's a rough start,
they're going to be the last guys.
That's a really rough start, losing 2 players so early on. But talk about getting debated. I mean, that happens in these games. I'm surprised that he chased that kill, getting so aggressive. And I mean, don't get me wrong, it's 12 points in the bag, but you know from playing matchmaking, even matchmaking, literally doesn't talk about this high level play, but even in matchmaking, somebody will happily chase you. You let them run. You go around the corner, and the teammate's just going to be there just to debate you. So, rather unfortunate. UpG taking shots at T-Bone himself. So, 2 men standing. Can they make it above 16th place? It's a decent little roster, and we've seen teams that that have lost members early. They can go on to be in the top 6, top 5. We've seen it from, I think it was Jeems at one point. We saw it from Scoom, from Liquid. So we've seen these guys, they can survive. They can do it. It is a BR survival at the end of the day, so making it up in that placement. But bagging kills along the way is important. Team 15, they will disengage from DC. Whether that's just them in their usual rotation, okay, we want to get up early, they don't have any vehicles, or whether they're paying respect to DC. Because honestly, if I knew Digital Chaos were in there, I'd be respectful and I won't be pushing them. It's a bloody good team.
It is. I mean, these guys, they've been on this team for a long time, and they're super, super strong. They have had some rough times through them as well. Also, a roster change, losing Avian. But I think with this new addition, I'm not sure if it's signed, sealed, and delivered yet, but Mio is doing a great job for them. I've really seen him frag out a lot. Vitality, of course, they're going to be here. Monkey a bit further out, and you actually, all these guys, the compound that Monkey starts in is called the Monkey Compound. Oh. So now FaZe know that this is the Monkey Compound, and they're literally
where he's going to be every time.
Yeah, he starts there, and that's kind of the the line of defense of Vitality. They have the Monkey Compound, and then he has the whole area there. But really excited to see Knight splitting up and being super greedy here in the East. We're gonna get a drop. And it looks like, these drops, we talked about it last week, and these drops have just been amazing. It's full level 3, an M24, and an 8X, and an adrenaline syringe.
So the question I have is, because I've had 2 crates that haven't had a millivest in. We know now with the new patch it's guaranteed to be a level 3. Has something been updated so that it's guaranteed level 3 for both every single time?
Well, I mean, it sure looks like it by all these crates
because we've had every single crate, and every single crate in matchmaking that I've been playing seems to be always double level 3. But we've both had crates that have had no chest in them.
Yeah.
It at least must be a definitely high chance. But that makes them even more important and so more vital to be going for, because they can be game-changing.
They can. I mean, it's 55% damage reduction. It's absolutely insane. You're going to survive those shots so much more. Ewan and the boys here, DC, the guys from original Team of Domination, they're going to dip out. And we talked about it here, but look at the amount of space open. So we have all Cervini. Of course, this is a southern plane, but still all of Saki, all of Cervini, and all of Stalpa Kameski, that split Yasnaya as well. Everything of this is open. So when we have a plane that's gonna make a proper drop available for everybody, it's there. I'm really excited to see who's gonna go where, because they don't need to contest. You don't want to contest Pachinki. I'd rather want to take a short drive and go Yasnaya or even Cervini in shooting range. So really excited to see what's going to happen there. Crimson, they're going to go Rorschach. I'm not sure what they usually want to go Stalpa Kameski, of course, but I'm not sure if these guys, they've thought, okay, So Russia is going to be open for the taking. We're going to do that split instead. Obviously, Russia being one of the stronger drops, it's super centered, and you have those 2 bridges you can defend, or even bridge camp if you want.
So I'm not a massive fan of their, you know, what we saw last week. I'm hoping this is a bit of a change of mind for them, because Stalba Kameshki, all right, you're going to get some gear, don't get me wrong. But if you get a hard shift circle and it goes all the way down south, you've got a long track to get in. And it's not a matter of, there's a couple of things you've got to think about in the bigger picture. One, you've got to leave slightly early, so you're going to have less loot if you want to, if you want to get in early and at least get in without meeting another team. 2, potential to meet another team. Pidgeminota there with an M24, plenty of bullets and fully tanked up level 3, so happy days for him. But continuing on, you've got to make it to the circle, first of all.
Yeah.
Then when you arrive to the circle, all the good locations, all the spots, all the choke points, they've got teams in them. They're ready to go, so it's so vital that you manage to at least find a decent place initially with the playing route you're happy with. You have your looting routes, because looting routes are important. Every single player needs to know where he's going to go to get the gear and get it in a timely fashion.
Yeah.
And then more importantly, where you either go to from there or where you can at least make a play for another area. So your drop location in this game, it's so underrated. And when you're playing at this level, you need to know where you're going. You need to be making sure that you know where other teams are going to be coming from on their rotation and where you can at least disengage if you have to.
Yeah, and you see here the Knights here, they know this plane is super southern, right? So the majority of the teams, they're going to be in the south. You even have the kind of river here, it splits you up in 50-50, right? So the Knights are thinking, okay, boys, so the side is going to be stacked with people. Let's come in from the north, and then we can shift or transition to the south if you get circles on top of each other on the south here. So they're going to do the smart part and go all the way there. Super smart by them, of course. Krama, Drayden, these guys, of course, they're gonna. Did you see that? How greedy they were in the east. You have Lipovka, you have Prison, you have Big Milter, Small Milter. Imagine the amount of loot they're gonna get there.
Yeah, they can just go through it, and that's the thing. Just been able to loot through and drive through. Rogue down at the bottom, you can just see you and Yannick. Fuffins are there at the top. They're all just making sure they're not being camped. They'll send one away on the bike just to offer him up as kind of a peace offering, so to speak. If he dies, they know they can back off and move somewhere else. It looks like there's going to be shots coming in. Pidgeminnota's lining this one up with a 24. Unfortunately, Macken could be dead because that's 7-6-2. You got Drainers on the back line. That should be an easy kill. Yes, indeed. 12 points there to Na'Vi. Macken goes down. It's Pidgeminota.
That's Iba.
Iba, it is, isn't it? We need to go Iba. I need to try and stay this. Every time I say Pidgeminota, I just think of some sort of a Pokemon.
Yeah,
That's all I want to say.
But Pidgeminota has Iba has a Na'Vi account. I'm not sure why they don't play on it, but I think it's got something with the site they use. They have to log in with a Steam account and everything. So he's just using his main account. But Iba, with a U, but it's called Iba.
Iba. Okay.
Na'Vi Iba.
Fantastic guy. I knew it wasn't obviously I knew someone tweeted me saying it's not Pidgeminota. I'm like, okay.
No, but still, it's a really good name. Once you get it right, it feels so good. Pidgeminota. It sounds so good, right? Deeks here is gonna take some shots on to Noxious here. T-Bone and Rix, they're down to 2 guys. They're gonna have a really hard time here. But the ruins are completely open, and the guys from Alabama, they're gonna be moving in here. We have Deeks, we have Ice Savage, Stars, and Tiltmaster XD.
Gosh, that should be my name.
I wonder if this guy is a guy of throwing some punches and hurting some screens.
All right, guys, I'm done. We'll see. We'll see. We've all punched the screen this time. It's good. It's amazing. I mean, it's a way to relieve stress, man. It's video gaming. It's great.
It is.
There's nothing that's been able to tilt me off more in my life than video games. Honestly.
True. But also talking about these kind of drops here, but Crimson dropping Stalba Kameshki, they just play that. And also because we have that kind of, it feels like there's a slightly higher ratio of circles going to the edge, a couple more more often. So they kind of play off that as well, and it's more viable coming in late with those kind of shift. If it was only center going center, of course it would be super important getting those center position.
Generally, a pattern that we are seeing and we have been seeing recently is that when you've got this more of a central circle, everyone goes center. You get everyone a big, dense area smack bang in the middle, just waiting for that central shift. Generally speaking, when we look towards circles that are on the east or the west, then we have people kind of playing the edge, chilling, coming in a little bit late game, doing these long rotations. There seems to be this little pattern that we are seeing. If it's dead center, if there's plenty of island, get stuck in. Not a bad shift whatsoever. It moves slightly towards the west, slightly towards the north. It leaves an octave dead center. Nice care package in hand as well. All dependent whether Crimson decide they want to go for it. They'll have seen it, and you can see with the 2 white lines in it now, it's definitely there. Crimson under fire. Vitality. Shiv just giving them a bit of a warning message that they are going to be running through Vitality's area. The Frenchman looking to do some damage here this weekend after a, not the, I won't say poor performance, but not a Vitality performance that we know by any means. However, Pybas, he's managed to...
Oh, no, Zimbabwe, he flipped.
Now, the question is, does Lockwood go and try and defense it? I mean, he could get the vehicle. He could drive to the... He could drive to the tree and just smash the tree, and it'll give him that level of defense.
Was it a 2-seater or a 3-seater, maybe?
It has to... Surely it was a 3, excuse me. You don't flip a 2.
I mean, the new 2.
It's wobbly.
It's. I mean, I feel like the suspension on those, it kind of feels different. Oh, he's going to get finished off. Nope. So that's going to be Monkey finishing up Zimbabwe. And you saw Crimson here. When you drop this rush track, it's so important to get on the other side as well. So they took, actually, which is now the most centered compound now. And we're going to see Vega here in a fight. Project X. Hand hacks here. Kippy's going to be taken down as well.
Oh.
Kemba is left on 10%. He's going to be taken up here as well.
Getting peeked to get him poked, to get him picked. There's only 1 member remaining. He's got to be careful. Looks down the barrel, the spray comes through, and thank you, Vega Squadron. Welcome, boys. Welcome to the big leagues. Unfortunately, they end in 16th place, so the first team to be eliminated, and that is a mass of points going in the way of Project X, a.k.a. the X-Gen side, boys. We move across now, still Crimson onto Red Zone. A little bit of a battle here for this mini compound.
Well, that's Red Zone out on 15th. That was also a bit early, but still... What we talked about as well, this compound is just so vital in this zone because you can move from anywhere from it. You can keep your cars, everything is in there as well. But that's unfortunate for Red Zone, not the start here they hope for. And look at this. Look at Navi here. They're going to make the big transition coming in from the north here because they know the amount of teams and amount of pressure in the south is just too huge here. So they're going to go north to Yasnaya here, Benjamin Noda and Navi. Drainus, their newest addition. DC here, they have the castle. So they're on the castle hill here. Level 1 helmets on a lot of them. Of course, they had to share with the original team of domination Pachinki, so they didn't get fully looted from it.
Yeah, because that's another story in itself, right? We speak about looting routes. They'll have been a little bit, not necessarily confused, but certainly aware that there is another team there, which then breaks up their looting pattern.
100%, yeah,
you know,
yeah.
There's a big thing to be said about that, to be fair.
It is. I mean, also about Pachinki, what you usually do is also, you have these big priority buildings and you drop them like 3-3-3, and then one guy takes the church and, you know, the northern area and check for cars. And one guy goes for the southern cars as well. So it's kind of, you get contested and it really messes a lot with your start.
And that's probably why we're seeing a lot of level 1s. Remember now, level 3s, they're no longer in this patch number 12, if you want to call it patch 12. They're no longer a world drop. The only way you can get a level 3 helmet is to be going through one of those crates. And you can see the crate there. It's open for business. 2 white lines on it means it's been unopened. If you see no white lines, it means there's nothing left inside. And once again, it's exactly as the previous one. 8 times 24, 333. Baby, they are some tasty turkey passages, and you just need to... You know, they're well worth going for. That's the thing. It's high. It's now become high risk, high reward. There were certain scenarios in the previous... you know, high-level competitive, it was like, well, do we really need to go for this? Is there any point in wasting a person potentially dying off of it? Hell yeah. They are well and truly worth it.
Yeah, they are. The plumbers here in the south, they're also making their way in. Vitality here, putting some pressure on to Project X. Rogue here, the boys coming in slow. They're on the western side here, so they're going to wait for this. Try to scout it out and wait for this circle to shift. Let's see what's going to happen. It's a good circle. It's gonna not hard shift anywhere, not really favor anyone. But a lot of play area in the north here is able for that. You can go in, you can come in from the north onto the plain. Some of the shooting range is open as well. So this is gonna be a really a Vanguard circle for me actually, because a Vanguard here going on foot, and this is really like having these kind of hill areas, being on foot here. This is what a Vanguard really have been so like superior on.
Well, that's been one of their weaker sides, hasn't it, really? When we look towards when they've kind of failed, it's been on rotation. It's been driving through teams and just getting completely mullered as they, you know, traverse around teams, picking them up on vehicles, picking them out inside cars, exploding them. left, right, and center. And as you mentioned, now the dead center. Now they have this kind of circle. T-Bone. Down he goes. And unfortunately for Noxious, they're down to one player remaining. And yeah, they're going to keep firing because they know he can't stay in there for much longer. Deegs decides to flip his bike over and his teammate over either way. Ricksnaz, unfortunately, will fall. He gets picked off by Team 15. It's going to be original team domination. And unfortunately, Noxious, they will fall in 14th place. 49 players remaining. Havu, they're moving up very, very slowly but surely. The cubes are in just on the corner there, the main crossroads, and keep anyone back that wants to come across from Georgia Pol. More than likely, I wouldn't expect anyone to do so. You can see the long rotations coming around from Yuki and Hayes. The Plumbers down at the bottom corner. They have to be careful as they go across these bridges. It's going to be 1, 2, 3, potentially 4 teams as they hit the westerly side, excuse me, the easterly side of that circle. Rogue are going to keep going up north. Now, I like the play here because the north still, not only does it have hills and plenty of room to kind of look down upon their enemies, Martin, but it's completely open.
It is. It's a really good call here from Rogue. I mean, we saw this kind of shift towards north here. You would expect people to be in the north, but still, remember the plane. It was so southern. So you didn't have any plays here. But Drainus, he's got his eye on the old Genside squad, now called Project X. He's gonna, oh, Drainus!
Tap? Good God, that was a belting shot, especially from a scan. He's going to continue on with the 6 times here. Pokemolodoy comes in as well. 1, 2, thank you. 24 points in the, oh, he stole it.
Monkey stole that.
That's sneaky.
That was basically the last shot here. We heard Pokemolodoy take the shot as well, so they just said 1, 2, shoot, and then they hit them. So you heard double shots from the Scars. So Pokemolodoy and Drainus, they're shooting at the same target. Fantastic discipline here. So see some fighting here. Monkey's still shooting. Getting them really low. Look at Philu, he's on 5%. Got this small...
Still continuing through with the res though. He wants to try and get his comrade up, and that's fair play, but the smoke's going to disappear.
Oh, Monkey. Philu is going to be taken down as well. Foffins, meanwhile, is putting some pressure onto Alabama North. We saw them rotating earlier. Manoda here with the M24. Iba.
This is so cruel, man. They're completely pins between 2 teams. Vitality on one side, Navi on the other. Like, if it's 2 teams you don't want to be pinned between, it's these guys, especially when one of them's got an 8 times and a 24 in the back pocket. He sees the blood, says thank you very much, puts a bullet between his eyes, seals the deal. It's 12 points. Philu goes down. Meanwhile, Rogue are doing some work over on Team 13. Who's that going to be? That's going to be Alabama North.
Yeah.
Potentially 2 or 3 knocks there.
We saw them rotating after Rogue, so they pushed into them, and Rogue was just
-1.
Oh, yeah, so that was a...
They fell off.
Yeah. Looks like they fell off somewhere, yeah.
He just gave himself away, so they end them run in 13th. They deny Rogue at least 1 kill. Look at the Plumber Mill, though. They're just traversing past Rogue. They're going to carry on going. Drainy's in with a grenade on Pandex.
Yeah, so that's Project X out in 13th. They're going to be finished off. No, sorry. We still have Andrea Rectu.
That was the Alabama North. So the one player still
alive here, yeah.
Clinging on by his teeth.
Project X still have Andrea Rectu. And Knights have this common as well. This slightly hard shift, not super hard shift, but still it's very close to the circle. Navi here really getting a bit favored here, getting a good circle.
Havu didn't have a great European event when last time we saw them in action, did they?
No, and also like recent changes with Havaki adding to that as well, and they can't loot their usual loot spots, so they can't loot Remorse, so they kind of have to change everything up and completely change their style. So that's also kind of rough for them as well. Although Havu still are a really, really good team. They're not in the top 5 at the moment, but they have the potential to be, in my opinion.
Thing is, though, they've been there for a while since the beginning. You know, we saw them as the Sauna Boys. They were doing super, super well.
Yeah.
Obviously getting picked up by Havu, and they've just been consistent, at least. They've been consistently in the top 10. They've been consistently doing well. A couple of little changes. Could see them push on past, as Martin says, into that top 5 area. Team 15 down at the bottom is going to be original team of domination, going for the care package.
Oh, Kuna here actually hit a shot onto Jokus. And this is, again, just even crossing the water here is just so rough. You have 15 seconds of breath. Another M24. Suppressor for the AR DMRs. Vest and helmet.
That's so good.
Yeah.
These kits are so good. Unfortunately, Digital Chaos fish in a barrel right now, trying to get across. Which reminds me kind of like when you see these animal programs with the water buffalo and the crocodiles. That's all water is now. It's cruel. Look at this. 1, 2, dead.
That's 12 for DC.
Literally killed by the water.
And they just wanted to cross. They didn't even want to swim for placement. They just wanted to cross. That's really that water nerf for you. You can't really do anything about it. These guys in the southwest here, original team of domination, have a good position. They got that as well. Hayes here, last player of the Plumber Mill. Take one. Oh, unlucky.
It's always going to be hard when you're going up against 4 people looking on you.
Yeah,
just to get some kit at least.
They started with 2 guys as well. They only loaded in Hayes and Yuki, so there were 2 guys only.
But still, real bad,
11th as 2.
I mean, that's a good effort.
Yeah.
In the grand scheme of things, that's a better effort. I suppose we were going to try and get the flush on there to try and at least bag himself 12 points, but a little bit unfortunate. And yeah, that is super unlucky. So good work for them to at least claw it up into 11th place and jump a few places above some other teams. Keeps them still in contention after game number 1 at least. Now, let's take a look at this circle and kind of discuss where these choke points potentially are here. At the moment, I think it's very evenly spread. It's only Crimson who potentially might be in a little bit of danger because they do have 2 teams. There's going to be both original team of domination and Vitality who might have eyes on them. Meanwhile, Enzo Lenzo onto Mumino. 1 player falls from a Vanga. We saw the Havu boys. They did have plenty of weaponry, plenty of gear. Voxic with the SLR. That weapon is an absolute bad boy tank if you can pick it up off the map. It's super, super rare. Still yet to find one in matchmaking. I'm pretty annoyed.
I've got a couple already, and they're
really rare, aren't they?
It's just so insane. Yeah, they're rare, but it's just so good. Next circle here is going to go a bit to the southeast here, so not favoring Na'Vi again. They have to make a move here, and Knights is really gatekeeping them. And Rekyu actually made it away, so he might be able to snake it in here, surviving that. Rogue here, they have to make it all the way around, and look at that. They have to cross through Imperial.
Imperial standing guard here and in the way, and that circle's wild because that allows so many teams, unfortunately, to be gatekeeped. They can just hold them back and hold the line. Yannick does at least make it to the tree, but he does get answered back. Cloudtail, both players about 5 HP remaining. Opchi just sat between the tree and the blue, unfortunately, does get away with his life. Hits the deck, he'll be able to get a very easy first aid off there at least. Meanwhile, on the kill feed, Lockwood, they're going to be moving on to original team once again. That's a grenade I see being teed up. 1, 2, 3 members fall consecutively. Only 1 player left. That's going to be Kuna just by the side of the tree. I'm watching for that grenade in the kill feed, and now you can see all the teams starting to find eyes on one another. Pity answers back onto Jazza. Gets the knock through the flush. 12 points there into the hands of Imperial.
Yeah, and Imperial, they also have to make a move here because the zone is going to shift now, so they have to make a move and push. Crimson here is trying to finish off Kuna. Kuna's laying by the tree here. He is close to being inside here, but still he could potentially be taken out soon. Imperial, they're going to be gate-kept as well by Havu. Rogue in a really rough position. Ewan, he just pushed in with the car straight into the middle. He's going to be taken out, so that is Rogue out in 9th.
Original team fall in 10th, I believe. Drayden back again. We're speaking about Drayden in the pre-game. Been playing like an absolute monster last weekend. Excuse me, 2 weekends previous. I don't really mind here, just looking towards Imperial. He knows he's got players going to be banking down just towards the south of him, so he's got to be very, very careful here. Suntouch says hello. I'm here. Comes in with the silenced M4. That's a banging spray. Opti's also tanked up as well. Pity needs to be the saviour here. Back to full health, so he can play it off 2-2. 40% damage reduction on both head and chest. But that's going to be another tick coming in. That's going to be a headshot as well. Opchi falls, and now rather than go for the push, they're going to disengage from this. This is a beautiful play, in my opinion, man. I like it.
Yeah, very smart play. They do have the upper hand in the high ground here, and now PD is going to be left outside in the blue.
Oh, that sucks, man.
And they still have this push. This kind of hill here, south of Avanga, it's kind of rough because once you get out further into the east, you push about east from here where Havu is on the west, it's kind of open area. Don't have that much cover, but still, PD's alive. He's just going to try to tank this, and now Havu has to make a move. Vanga's just going to stay here. They have a pretty good position to just stay and guard everything a bit there. Vitality still on the east, still pushing in a bit here, and Rectu is still alive, snaking. Knights has the only compound inside.
Pity has fallen, so that's going to be them. Imperial, they fall in 8th team, falling in 8th position. And that's a prime example of Havu just at least watching them. You can look towards I don't really mind. He's watching their backside. However, they're going to run into a very, very angry Avanga. Here come the bullets. Momino spots one. Headshot comes through. That's the Mini. 2 taps him down. Enzo Lenzo's on the flank. He sees Keen running to the side. No helmet here, unfortunately, for Mumina. It's already been dinked off. Dees falls. Anoctiv falls. Keen falls. That's a banging grenade there from I Don't Really Mind. He's got no helmet. He just needs to run away. They know exactly where he is. He'll try and pick up some more points. Takes up a Voki, so at least puts a little bit of pressure back. He's fighting tooth and nail, but Havu, they just completely banged them to shreds.
Fantastic nade by I Don't Really Mind. A double with one of them, but they just kept on nading. Fantastic counter push here, keeping them off. Vitality, meanwhile, has made a far push into the center here. Monkey, he has one of the hills. NBS is going to be taking super low. 9 kills on Crimson as well. Drayden is going to knock Shift. So a lot of fights happening already. Knights have a really good position here. Oh, there's LR. Really close to connecting some of those shots.
Just tapped one up before we did jump on point with him, Drayden again. Only man on his team with kills. He's got 2 for the team, so 24 points there for Knights. They have moved up into the top 6, a happy start there, Vitality. They've got a nice few little defilades to play off of where they are. They can just sit here now, but they've got to be careful of Havu just coming up behind. Crimson also. Shadows, he's actually split off from the rest of the pack. You look where Shadow is. He's all the way down south. He's outside the circle, so he's going to be the latecomer to the party. Na'Vi, 4 kills in the bag. Shadow does get picked off single-handedly, so he will fall. I'd be very surprised to see him down. He's outside the zone, so he's going to fall either way. Crimson moving together. Look at all these smokes, Martin. Now, we said smokes, they're just so crucial, so important at high level. And the fact that you can carry more, we're just seeing even more in play.
Yeah. After the recent change here, smokes being, I think it's 4 capacity lighter. 2 at least, so that's really good. Pipe is going to take down Shadow, so he's out. Crimson has 2 guys alive.
Havu's kills, man.
Havu has 10 kills, 3 guys. I Don't Really Mind with 5.
Nice way to start.
Yeah, really good position here. Just playing a bit aggressively. Vitality's just trying to snake it out here. Arax is going to be knocked by Pidgemanota. It's going to be taken out as well. So that's Vitality down to 1.
2 headshots, they'll seal the deal there. Looking for more. This M24, it's so dangerous, it's so nasty. Especially when you got an 8 times on the back and you put it in the hands of one of these Na'Vi players. Any single one of it will do some damage. Usually we see Drainies. Speaking of Drainies, actually got the circle alongside Monkey. Last man standing here for Vitality. Can he boost his team into the top 5 or will they fall in 6th?
Be so important for Vitality here. Having those, just being able to snake in. They did pop off in the kill feed earlier as well, so they have the kills with them as well. Being able to take a top 3 here would be crucial for them. Andrea Rector is taking some fire as well. Looks like he's down to 20% HP. He's going to be taken out by Shade, so that is 5 teams left. 14 players alive only.
Andrea falls from Shade. Plenty of kills across the board for plenty of these different teams. We can see 6 kills here now.
We have on Navi, we have 4 players alive.
Yeah.
Knights, we have 4 players alive.
This is looking good. Havu, I think they lost 1.
Yeah.
Same across, so we got 2 for Crimson, 1 for Vitality.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, if Monkey can just survive and let these guys kick the living hell out of each other, then he's happy because that just blusters Vitality further up the ranking. Jorski did fall a little bit earlier on, but still 10 kills in the bag, 120 points. And now they're just playing for placement and playing for as much more. The more they can bag now in this phase, the more it helps them along the board. You can see in the bottom corner, his teammates are taking a couple of bullets. Journeys onto Texas. Voxic, he'll answer back onto Pidge. Texas gets finished. He gets stolen, actually, by Pybus. That's a little bit cheeky. Now they're allowed to move. They are outside the zone, but I'll tell you what, the Knights, they're coming down hard here on Na'Vi. They're doing so much damage to him. 2 players have already fallen. Pybas, he gets dinked and knocked by Havoki, so they can keep them back on that side. Crimson, they're down in 5th.
Yeah, Crimson out. Havu still have 3 guys alive, then they can just put some pressure onto Knights here. They know where he is. Krama here down to 60% HP, but the zone is pushing them. Pushing all of them. Voxic here putting pressure onto Navi as well. They're taking down to 30% HP. Drayden is holding the corner here and the push on the flank. So he has the off angle. Drayden is going to be taken down though by the zone.
That's a little bit unfortunate. He set off a little bit too late, had eyes fixated on that rock which kind of costs him time. He does get knocked, and then he falls to the zone, and then he's instantly dead. Someone picks him up. Clean 12 points there, moving into the hands. 3 kills here for Knights, but they're into the top 4. Can they make it top 3? 2 players remaining, plenty of smokes. They also have a beautiful little defilade. It all depends where this next circle goes. Monkey still alive, hiding in smoke continuously. Once again, he does. Now, the bigger question is, does someone rotate behind him? The team above and the team below, the only way for them to get into the circle, really, is to run the edge, play the edge, and potentially come up behind his rock and take that as a prime position, because it is looking downhill.
Yeah. Molidor, he kind of wants to nade those smokes, but he needs it for later. He's going to try to nade it. Is he going to hit?
Oh, God,
it's going to go too far. No, it's going to go too far.
A little bit too far, indeed.
Oh, hitting Voxic, taking him down to 40% HP.
Could have been lucky.
Yeah. So here, Havu in probably the most difficult position. They're kind of inside this zone, but they have the Knights and Na'Vi pushing onto them for later.
How many smokes does Monkey have?
I don't know. He's picked up a lot.
I think he's just looting his teammates' dead bodies and constantly putting them down.
Oh, they can see him. Oh,
that has
no.
To be surely.
Yeah, that's him out. But still, 4th for Vitality. That's really good for them, considering how rough they had it on the transition here. 3 teams left. Knights, Havu, and Na'Vi.
Kramer's in a really bad position. He's getting all kinds of damage. The side spray does come through. He knocks one, but it's a trade-off. He will answer back. That's going to be Shade. Now, will he opt for the push, or will he go for his teammates? Oh, he's been damaged. The AKM, it does so much. So much pain. He's got his teammate to his left-hand side, so they can work together now. But again, the Knights, they have to hit Havu. Havu are in trouble. They're going to get pincered between 2 teams.
Knights are sneaking, though. They're just smoking and sneaking, and the smoke's just pushing with the smokes because you have this super slow zone. So they can really do that.
There's an opposing side to that, though, Martin. Putting those smokes down, you also give away your position because they know exactly where you are.
Yeah. But you can also fake with it, and we saw that as well. Oh, that's going to take down Shade. That's 2 knocks onto Na'Vi. Pokémon, the last player here. That's effectively a 2 versus 3. Oh, 2 versus 2 now. Knights.
Oh, look at that.
Versus Havu. Voxel, the last player alive here. I don't really mind. He's going to push him. He's taken down to 20% HP here. I don't really mind. He's going to keep pushing this. That's 1. And that's Havu.
That's a pincer and a half. Havu, they get the first chicken dinner of the day. Congratulations to them. 14 kills as well, Martin. That is an absolutely quality start from the team.
That's really what they hope for. And again, you see Havu here, they start off in South Georgia, and you can just talk about how important it is to have a good place to start. Even though they were contested, having that really good loot and having that good position you can start off as is just so important.
So we got Knights, we had Na'Vi, I think it was Vitality. Going down that list there, so at least some of these teams, some of these bigger names, some of these bigger teams that we saw previously, that we said these are the ones that are going to be challenging for this top spot. But certainly, Havu now, completely different roster to what we saw previous. A lot of kills, a first win straight away off the bat. That's kind of what we were hoping for, because we did say that this, again, it's one of those teams where we know they've been at the top for a long time. They've been one of these known teams that everyone needs to be aware of. But it wasn't the best performances that we saw previous, which we kind of seen across the board, because we saw, like, for instance, C9 and Ghost Gaming over North America, you know. Any day's different, any weekend's different, different mentality. Go back, look at what you did wrong, watch the games again. A lot of these teams have gone back and watched the rebroadcast, right?
Yeah, 100%. Of course, learning from that is just so important as well. So I'm happy to see this, because Havu is a good team, and I know they can perform at this level as well.
So the big question is, when we look towards DC, did they have their drop kind of messed up? Because we didn't see any vehicles from them, which to them is a little bit uncanny, because usually you see one person who'll push off down by the church. There's plenty of vehicles that spawn along that run. And again, we saw them with all the level 1 helmets. So did their initial drop get messed up by one of these new teams?
Yeah, 100% did. So here you saw the original team of Domination just taking half of Pochinki. And when you get contested, you can't go for cars. You need to go for guns. You need to make sure, okay, guys, this is our spot. So that really messed up their loot, first of all. But still, not having cars, being able to have that big macro play. You saw it from Knights coming all the way in the north, pushing into, they had the southern part of the Serenity, pushing down further south, and eventually taking that compound, which it ended close to.
Well, that's going to be it for game number 1. We're all said and done. Congratulations to Havu on the first win and plenty of kills to boot as well. It'll definitely give them a nice bluster at the top. When we return, we'll take a look at how the points are currently standing as we roll into game number 2. Don't go anywhere. We'll see you guys in a second.